Welcome to Everything Every Time. I'm Eli and I'm going to be your host. Most people are waiting to feel motivated. They wait for the right time, the right setup, the right mood, or the right opportunity. But people who actually build something do not win because they're motivated every day. They win because they execute. Even when they don't feel like it, they're executing. That is why this first episode is about the foundation of everything matters. Because at the end of the day, if you guys can't distinguish what matters in your business and what doesn't matter in your business, you're going to have a hard time building it. And motivation can get you started. It can get you out of bed. It can even get you to look up from your iPhone for a minute and say, yeah, this seems like something I want to do. But at the end of the day, standards are what keep you moving when the motivation is gone. The small things people ignore are usually the same small things that separate the average from the excellent. Let me say that again. The small things that people ignore are what separate average from excellent. Now, success is rarely built on one big move. Success, it always depends on the small details that are repeated over time. And our big shots, the people that have already made it, right? And just to bring us back down to earth, man, I'm not somebody who's made it. I'm on the middle of this journey, still very close to the beginning. And I'm sharing this stuff with you because I want you to be where I'm at today in a tenth of the time, right? Because at the end of the day, I was successful in operations because I knew how everything operated. I didn't let a single small detail pass me up. I was able to build and train teams because if I seen something, I said something, and that's what we do, right? And the way we show up matters. The way we speak to people matters. The way you follow up matters even more. And the way you prepare matters the most, right? Because we go into any situation where we don't know the answers to the questions that we're asking, then we should have never been in that room in the first place. And, you know, when I tell you guys that you are the bearing of your success in your life, it is the 100% truth because at the end of the day, when everything matters to you, everything in your business, everything in your life, the way you treat people, the way you teach people, the way you lead people, then you're going to be able to build from that, right? You want to curate your personality and your ability to approach subjects with people in a way that makes them want to listen and digest what you're saying. It doesn't matter if the business is yours, you're the CEO of $1 trillion company. Doesn't matter if you're starting a management position at McDonald's for your first time. Doesn't matter if you're the team lead for a sales team doing $1 million in sales a month, right? That person that the team looks to, if that's you, then you have to be the person that decides what everything means and what small details become a part of your culture and when and how are they going to be repeated. Because I promise you, the detail that you ignore today will become the standards your team accepts tomorrow. Right? We as leaders have to stand up for what we believe is going to deliver the best customer experience every single day. And when I tell you that it seems like a lot, the 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 idea of every single thing we do throughout the day, right? Take yourself for a walk on that journey. I want you to mentally pull up to your business in your head, right? It's depending on where you are in the world and what you do. Let's just say it's 5:45 in the morning and you're the first one on the site. You pull up and you're looking, let's say we're at a retail business today, right? But what is your curb appeal? If you're an operator, this is what you're looking at, right? You pull up to your business. How does your business look from the outside? Are all the lights on the building working? Does it seem like the parking lot is clean and and free of clutter, right? And then as you go into your business for the day, was your alarm set by the closing people that night? Was the door actually locked? When you checked the till, was all the money that was supposed to be there and ready for you to open the business for that day, right? And you're going through this checklist. But to bring this back to the statement about being prepared, right? As a leader or the organizer of your business or whatever it is that you're in charge of, right? Whether that's a team of five or a team of 5,000, depending on your level in any organization, we have to see what each of those details are throughout the day, decide what is the most important, and then make that the standard across everywhere. And this is a lot easier to say out loud than it is to put into effect. I'll tell you that I failed so many times at the beginning of my leadership journey trying to get everyone on the same page. But what I learned over time is that when I treated everything as something that I will not ignore, the team followed flirt. So again, don't ignore the standard you want your team to accept as fact, because you are a living, walking, talking billboard of what you're going to accept. Now, I'm just going to pivot a little bit here because the next piece of this, right? Once we've understood everything and when we went through that exercise, right? We want to look at everything we did throughout our day for the business from the time we open to the time we close and how that operates, what that looks like for our customers, right? And what does that look like for our employees? Because at the end of the day, somebody still has to execute in this space. No matter what business you're doing, somebody has to execute to make the sale, to make the business run, to make the business roll, right? And motivation at the end of the day, we can motivate people, we can push them, we can try, but at the end of the day, it's up to us to decide whether that a motivation is going to be something that's short term and not long lived, or we're going to use that motivation to turn it into a standard that is executed, because execution is a decision, right? I used to tell my team members, and I still do to this day, that I'll try is not good enough. I'll try really means I'll try to pretend I gave it my all. So when you ask me why I failed, I can say I tried, right? I used to tell them, listen, all intents and purposes, we do not say I'll try, I'll get it done. I'll execute this. I'm going to knock this out, because when we say I'll try, we're saying that we have an opportunity to fail here when the decision is to execute, right? And if we're going to do this, we're going to do this because it will not always feel like we're doing the work. But when we continue to decide that we're going to execute at the highest level every single time, no matter what, then we're going to be the best we can be, right? And for a lot of us, especially as small business owners, right? Like, honestly, I hate social media. I've hated social media almost all of my life. And I've had to go through the painstaking process of figuring out what's going to work for me. And that's why we're on this podcast right now, because I got a lot to say and I can't say it all in 15-second clips. It makes me want to blow my brains out. Excuse my language, guys. But seriously, like, social media has never been my friend. I've never really enjoyed it. And here I am on a social media platform, hopefully talking to you right now about why I don't like posting. But what I can tell you that if I want to get the attention that I believe my message sends, I'm going to do the posting. I'm going to do the recordings. I'm going to continue training. I'm going to continue learning so I can be better at this craft. And most importantly, I'm going to execute. As you guys can see right now, especially those watching on video, I don't have a fancy backdrop. I don't even have a fancy podcast microphone yet. But what I do have is some really awesome software that's recording me right now and telling me I'm going to fix your voice after this so the people listening to it don't have to hear all the background noise. Right. And I had to have this hard conversation with myself that said, listen, you wrote an amazing book. You're running an amazing business. You're a pretty amazing guy. And, I don't want to say I'm the best thing since sliced bread, but I do like myself a lot. Right. But I had to go, yo, you're going to do this and you're going to do it now. And you're going to stop making every excuse. You're just going to go get it done. And then you're going to make it better as you go, because execution is why I'm here today. And execution is why you should be moving forward every day so you can execute the next micro goal to get to your big goal, right? You have to map this out. Like, I want Bandslandia to be $1 trillion global conglomerate, but I'm not going to get from square one to square 555,000 in one step. All right. So we have to continue to build, and we can't build depending on the mood that we're in, because there's days where it's just so freaking hard, right? We had bad customers. We had somebody trying to cheat us out of a chargeback. We have business relationships breaking down, or maybe we're so busy, it's overwhelming, right? I got orders coming in out the wazoo, right? But we cannot depend on our mood. We have to be able to be stoic in those situations, right? Because as leaders, we can't depend on the hype. We can't depend on the ups and the downs. We have to hope that every now and then we're floating across. But the reality is, most of the time, it's going to be complete chaos. And in chaos, your motivation might just come down just a teeny weeny bit. You might be a little less motivated when you got 27 different things flying at you. You didn't realize you were supposed to submit that paperwork for that permit. Oh, hold on. Listen, I'm new to this. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I needed a sales and tax and use form, and I didn't know about this, and I didn't know about that. And that's entrepreneurship in a nutshell, right? Especially for those of y'all that are going at this and trying to do this with no schooling, no education, no credit, no money, right? Like, you guys are out here. And that is honestly how Manslandia started. It started with two brothers, a dream, and an idea that said, listen, we spent a year sitting here making a clothing brand that's doing pretty good, but we had so much trouble we could have avoided if somebody would have just told us how to do the proper paperwork. And that's where the Bandslandia brand incubation program came from. We decided never again will we allow somebody in the creative space of clothing and apparel that we have the opportunity to meet. There's no way we're going to allow them to have to make every mistake. Why not just put a complete course together that gives them everything they need to get their feet off the ground and get their feet wet in the business? And that's where Bandslandia was born. You know, the main thing that we have to continue to feed ourselves as entrepreneurs and leaders is that no matter what we're going through, what we're feeling, people depend on us. I'm a father. I got three beautiful girls, another one on the way, and I got an amazing wife. And when I tell you that I've learned so much in my leadership career from being married and having children, that it is phenomenal, right? The way that you must show up for your family is in the same sense on how you should show up to everybody that you lead, every team that you meet, every relationship that you make with your customers, with your vendors. You need to show up with compassion, right? You need to show up as if your mission matters so much that your family depends on it, that you can't even breathe, right? I had a friend of mine telling me the other day, old man walks out on the beach. Young man walks up to the old man and says, I want this. I want to be a billionaire. I want to be the richest man on earth. And the old man says, are you sure? He says, I'll do anything. I'll do anything I have to. Old man says, are you sure? Yes, yes, I will do whatever I have to be successful. Doesn't matter. Okay. And the old man walks him out into the ocean a little bit. And the old man shoves his head underwater. And he's fighting and he's fighting and he's fighting. And finally, the old man lets him up. He goes, why, why would you do that to me? I was drowning. I was drowning. And the old man says, are you willing for what you want to fight as hard as you just fought to breathe another breath? And that's the decision you have to come to as a business owner. Are you willing to give it everything you have to your last breath to make your dreams come true? Because at the end of the day, that little bit of motivation is only going to get you so far. Are you going to stay dedicated? Are you going to keep on pushing? Because if your plan only works when you feel motivated, you don't have a system. You have a mood. Okay. And it's all right to have a mood. But if you want to be successful, build your system, give yourself the tools you need to be decisive, give yourself the tools you need to say, I am going to execute every single day, no matter what. Now, once you've decided that everything matters, right? That you're going to execute no matter what is failing you, that you're going to be the person that overcomes motivation, has the standards that you want for the rest of your life, and you're going to win every single time. Let's talk about where we go from there, right? Now, I've started my business, right? It's no longer a mood, it's a decision that I'm going to execute and I'm going to be great and I'm going to win. I'm going to make so many sales and my business is going to grow and be so big, right? How do we get there? By understanding that not only does everything we do in our business matter, that the idea that we're going to execute and we're going to be decisive and we're going to do everything we can to be the best leader and owner that we can be. It's also understanding that we have to remember every customer matters, even a little bit more than the rest of what we were just saying here. Because at the end of the day, if your business has no customers, because you're a jerk and you can't remember that customers aren't just transactions, then you're not going to have a business for very long, because every customer matters means that every interaction you have with every single person is a potential relationship that you can build from, right? And people tend to think of their customers as just the people that are buying goods and services, but your customers are your employees. Your customers are your family members. Your customers, when you own a business, is every single person you interact with, because your kind interactions can potentially lead to more business. When we talk about it like this, right, that means that the way that we interact with people in our regular lives on a regular basis has to change, right? Because I've met people, and it's really crazy to see this happen in real life. Like, I've met people that are pretty high level operators that when it's time to go out to dinner, they treat the wait staff like crap. And I'm like, you're my boss, and you just treated that person that way? And I remember having that feeling quite a few times over the years. And what I believe to be true is that when you treat the world with respect, you treat every person as if they're somebody that you loved more than anybody else in the world, you're going to find true and long lasting success, because people are customers. Transactions are not customers. People are the essence of every business and the lifeblood of every movement, right? People remember how your business made them feel every single time. Okay. They can let one bad experience go, right? Maybe if it's their first time, maybe if the employees are a little young, but that one bad experience can shape someone's entire opinion of your brand, right? So if we only get the opportunity for one, if you're lucky, two opportunities to show somebody that your business can be good to them, and your first opportunity happens to be in line at the Publix while you're getting ready to pay for your lunch, then let that be the opportunity. Because as a business owner, a leader, an operator, that essence of I am who I am, my life is my business is my life, and I am a leader, an operator, and an owner, all wrapped up in the one should carry with you in every interaction you have, right? Because if you can't live that truth, how can you teach that truth, right? Because even if you're a small business or you're a business with 5,000 employees, eventually you're going to have to teach other people to do what you do and do it well. And if you can't treat people good, then you can't teach people to treat people good, to care about the person, to care about the optics over the profits, right? Oh, I like that. That was nice. I just came up with that right there. The optics over the profits, right? Because I'll tell you, man, a bad interaction today could haunt you for the next 5 or 10 years. Or 100 small good services from kind, happy, loyal customers with a kind and happy, responsive team with people that are happy to take care of every customer's needs in a way that meets your standard. Those 100 smalls will build your business for the rest of your career, where those one, two, maybe even three bad incidents could be a real pain in your neck for years to come. Because customer service isn't just about being nice, it's about being consistent, professional, and present, right? We tend to forget the people. The process doesn't mean anything if we forget the people. Remember, man, we are operators, we are leaders, we are winners. And at the end of the day, if we want people to be with us, we want people to win with us, we want people to see our business, see our growth, see our goals, and ride this train to our future destination of success, we can never forget that our customers are people first. And I'm gonna stop beating y'all on the head with this. Seriously though, give people where people are due. Give them love, give them support, and those people will be your Raven fans forever. Now, how do we do this every single time? We have to ask ourselves, right? Because now we've gone over quite a lot of things, right? Number one, that motivation is not as good as standards when it comes to execution. All right. Now, anybody can do something right once. Anybody can. And a real standard is something that you can repeat. And customers should not just have to catch you on a good day. Your team should not have to guess what matters. And consistency is what builds trust. Reputation, repetition is what turns value into a culture. So when we think about what we're doing here, right? When we think about the impact that you have when you decide that we're going to do this way every single time, right? And to give you a clear cut example, all right, when my employees see a customer pulling into the lot, they are required to give them a big wave and a big smile, Hi, how are you doing? Thank you for coming today, because that is the standard that we set. And it seems like a small thing, but I want my customers to know that we're not only happy to see them, we hope that they're coming to us means that we can make their day just a little bit better, a tiny bit special, right? We want them to feel comfortable as if they were coming home to grandma's house to some fresh baked cookies, and they're coming somewhere that they love to be. If your customers are showing up and they're showing up like they got a chip on their shoulder, can you be that safe place for them? That place where they can just come get what they need and enjoy that transaction, enjoy that small section of peace where they know what to expect because you're consistent, because your culture is consistent, because your team is consistent, because they deliver the same great, amazing service every single time? Can you do that? Yes, you can. You 100% can. Because at the end of the day, when you're in charge, when you're the leader, you get to choose what that standard would be. You get to be the person who says, we're going to execute at this level. I'm going to execute at this level every single day, no matter what. And there ain't nothing that anybody's going to do to stop me. No motivation is going to stop me, right? Because that motivation is just a little bit, but we have to make the decision to execute, right? Consistency is what turns good intentions into real standards, and you have to live that. You have to live that every day. Now, I'll tell you, man, I had to when I'm sorry, I got a little excited there, but when I tell you guys these things, it's because I've gone through it. I've had teams that are failing. I spent years going from failing location to failing location to failing location and trying to build teams. And when I first started out as a manager, nobody taught me how to talk to people. Nobody taught me what was really important and how to succeed. I had to go find that information for myself. And it took me a year of studying and honestly a lot of self-work, right? Because what happens in that first year, especially the new leaders, is we're trying to be what we think a leader is, when in reality, we've just seen people lead, and sometimes not the best way, right? Because a leader is compassionate. A leader sees what they're supposed to do and acts upon it. A leader is somebody that pushes people forward, not gently, but not harshly either, right? Because we need to get them to where they need to go, sometimes rather abruptly, but in all essence of the word, leadership is not something that you do, it's something that you live. And that change came probably around 2 years into my role, where I was really successful with a single location as a manager. I was really good at my own thing, right? Because when you have one, you only have to worry about the people inside your four walls. But as you start to grow and that responsibility starts to spread, you start to see things change, right? Now, instead of being in control of your four walls, you're in control of four buildings with their own manager, with their own four walls that want to do their own process and their own system. And it's up to you to go, hey, we have to set a standard that all of us are going to live by. These are the rules, the regulations, and the way we're going to move on it. And I really need y'all to be with me. And when I tell you, man, having those conversations is hard. Trying to get people to the point where they don't need the constant little endorphin boost of, you're doing a great job. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I hate the compliment sandwich, right? But the reality is, as a leader, we have to be able to identify, even in the worst of situations, that one piece that in that person's playbook that I can go, hey, this right here, you did a really good job with that. And I think you have a lot of potential. And I'd love to see you straighten up these couple small things. And, you know, if you need any help with those, I'm happy to walk you through that. And did you have any ideas? And is there anything that I could be doing better for you? Right. And that's my favorite thing. And hopefully y'all understand that I'm just kind of giving you the starts to each of those conversations. But when you realize that everything matters and doing everything that you're supposed to do as a leader matters tenfold, because at the end of the day, you have to walk the walk. Can't talk the talk. You can't quack, 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 quack. You have to talk the talk. And I'm telling you, man, leading teams, managing people has been one of the toughest, most enjoyable things in my life. And building Bandslandia is been an honestly amazing reward. And we're still learning, we're still growing. The business is changing every single day. It's evolving as the community grows. Our resources are getting bigger and better. We're gonna have to start employing some more employees very soon, because right now it's still mainly on the shoulders of me and Anthony. And we do have a little bit of help from some people in our circle, but we're at the growing stage where it's getting to be a little scary, and that's all right. And it's okay if you guys are building something too. If you're doing anything out there, like, tell me about it. Email me, drop a comment on the video, send me something on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, anywhere you can find me. Eliza Silva, the three E's. And I just want to keep it real with you, man. I'm building, you're building, we're executing. If you're executing, this podcast is for you. If you're executing, I'm on your side. And I may not always get it right, but I'm going to tell you guys my truth every single time that I get on here, every single week. So I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. This has been everything, every time, and I'll catch y'all next week.